I haven't filmed a video at this time of day before, so my lighting's probably a little weird. But if I stand right here, you can see me. If I go over here, it gets a little intense. Why am I bringing up the word intense? Because I want to lose viewers. No, it's because today I'm reviewing Red Tobacco Intense by Mancera. And I will say, if you've ever smelled a Mancera fragrance before, whether you love them or absolutely despise them, they're all pretty intense. They all go and go and go, and they project like crazy. That is my experience. I gave away a bottle of Instant Crush, which I reviewed here on the channel. I gave it away not because I didn't like it, but at the time I wasn't particularly ever reaching for it, so I gave it to a coworker, and he puts on 4 sprays, which is too much for Mancera, ironically, and that's what he likes to put on, and it just smothers us. But it's nice. It is a nice fragrance on someone else, but I can smell him from like 10 feet away, and I'm not exaggerating. So today, again, Red Tobacco Intense by Mancera. I'm going to go ahead and read you the notes. Wait a minute. No, I'm not, because I came in a little too intense and didn't even introduce myself if you've never seen my videos before. I am Andrew Douglas Lane. This is the Douglas Moon Fragrance Channel, where I review fragrances from the cheaper end to the more niche, expensive, and luxurious end. There's a dog barking. Things just got more intense. I'm sorry, I'm stupid. I can't help myself. I'm a dad. I'm wearing a dad hat. It happens. But anyway, the notes for this is saffron, cinnamon, incense, nutmeg, and pear, top notes. Next up, leather, precious tobacco, patchouli, so incense and tobacco. It's already very, very, very incensey, dark, smoky. Patchouli leaves, vetiver jasmine, and then underneath it, rich amber, woody notes, vanilla pods, and white musk. The details on the website, for anybody who cares for marketing, its intensity is matched only by its sensuality. You asked, we did. Discover the beast mode, in quotations, of red tobacco. Do you dare step into its lair and discover this perfume extract? A highly concentrated, powerful, assertive, and heady fragrance that will engrave your presence in the space around you. It will definitely make everybody around you smell you, that's for sure. Especially, I'm about to show you Mancera. Again, if you've never got a Mancera fragrance before, their atomizers are pretty powerful. My wife is going to hate this when she gets home very soon because it's Valentine's Day. We've got plans and things to do, but this is very strong and it's going to fill this room up. And I don't know if she likes this yet, but she doesn't care for smoky stuff too often, or borderline smoky stuff. And this one's very, very, very smoky. As you can see, or maybe you can't see, but I'm not going to do that again just for the sake of doing it. Their sprays are massive. They come out very dense, very oily, and strong. Honestly, it smells very nice as soon as I spray it out. The incense, the tobacco, very powerful. All the other notes in this are under there, but they take quite a while to come out. Even though this says incense is like the top note, it's in there burning with the precious tobacco and the leather, and the middle notes, the heart notes. I will say it takes a very long time, for me at least, on my skin, for this to boil down to the more baser notes, the amber, the woody notes, the vanilla pods, the white musk. These things, a lot of what I've experienced from Mancera fragrances is whatever you get at the top stays fairly linear for a very long time, because these are very oily fragrances. That's what originally made me give away Instant Crush, was because I didn't like how genuinely sticky it almost was on my arm. But for whatever reason, maybe it's the materials, this one and another one that I've got that I'm going to do a review on later isn't as oily on me. And this is an intense and extractive parfum, where the one that I had before wasn't. But either way, I'm going to go ahead and permanently brand myself with this fragrance for you guys, so I quit wasting your time. Okay, last one I'm going to do with that, because it's literally like filling this room up, but what you smell in the air, you're going to get a better result spraying this on your arm. Fun fact, I sprayed this on my arm already earlier today just to give it a shot, see how it did over the course of hours. So I just doubled that up, but it's alright. This is an interesting fragrance. You've got a really like smoky ashtray type smell if you want to like this. Which I will say, if you're getting into niche stuff, if you're looking for something more artistic and expressive, this is a great option to give a shot, to introduce yourself if you're really trying to test yourself and see what type of things you like. Because compared to designer fragrances, what I'm growing to truly love about niche fragrances is that they are just that, like they are Designer fragrances that you can get at Sephora in your average store are made for mass appeal, and they're often not that there's not mass appealing niche, but for the most part, designer fragrances are made to be something you remember as a fragrance. You smell it on someone, and you go, that's that thing from the mall. And these, or most like niche brands, again, cheap or even expensive, tend to make stuff that makes you actually have memories and thoughts of people, time frames, experiences, or even just moods. There are certain fragrances I love, or even have reviewed recently, even if there's ones I don't necessarily like but appreciate, that make me feel certain moods. And it's nice because they're a real experience, just like art should be. And that's what perfumery as a whole, even if it is designer, actually ultimately is. It's art. Well, I will say, this is that. For such a cheap price point, because this is full price. Full price is $220. Okay, so on their website, for 120 mil, which is what this is, they're asking $225. Well, we're not going to do that, are we? I usually get what I get off of like FragranceNet or Max Aroma. I'm not sponsored. Most of the time, FragranceNet I get stuff though because they're great prices for what you get. And I think this was $80. All of Mancera's are roughly $80 to $100 if you go to FragranceNet. Don't want to cheap out and rip off perfumers, but at the same time, I'm a cheapo. I'm not rich. Maybe one day, who knows? You guys keep watching. I appreciate you guys. But in general, I'm just a guy who has a regular job outside of doing this, and I have a family to take care of that I love with all my heart. So I'm not just throwing money away just to throw it away. And when you're purchasing a fragrance, you don't want to just spend an insane amount of money for something, even if it's fantastic. You do want to spend a little extra if it's something that you want to cherish and hold on to for special occasions, but you don't want to just go crazy. But this, I wouldn't pay $220 for this because I just don't want to pay that much money for anything if I can help it. But $85, $80 on FragranceNet, it's a great price for this. This is 4.2 fluid ounces, 120 mil. And I gotta admit that it's amazing. If you're, again, trying to get into something niche, trying to get into something different, the longevity right here, any Mancera fragrance, longevity and projection is massive. Genuinely massive, especially for the price point. It makes Tom Ford's and more expensive niche fragrances that are either now or used to be known for their longevity and projection look like baby farts. So that's a bad example because baby farts can be pretty strong and last forever. You know what I meant though. Something that just into the wind compared to Mancera fragrances. Very strong, very long lasting, but you have to want these types of fragrances and be okay with the fact that they linger for a very long time. And if you spray something like this on you and you don't like it, this red tobacco right here, especially the intense, you're going to be pretty upset because it can be a little bit difficult to get it off of you. But it reminds me of, I quit smoking 7 years ago. Quit smoking, tobacco, drinking. I don't condemn anybody. I'd like people to take care of themselves the best you can, says the guy who's gained 30 pounds this past year. But we just got married and had a lot of fun a year and some change ago. This whole time, we got married a year and change ago, whatever. But I quit smoking, but I used to smoke not just cigarettes, but I also smoked a pipe. I thought I was fancy, and I loved Lord of the Rings my whole life. I wanted to be like Gandalf. And this smells like what my creme brulee tobacco I would buy from the little shop. This smells like what the resin left behind, the burnt tobacco left behind in the actual bowl of that pipe I used to smoke would smell like. And it's very pretty. For me, I like this kind of thing. I'm really growing deeper in love with smoky fragrances in general, and for what it's worth and the price range, especially on discounter sites, this is a very beautiful fragrance. But it takes a little while, because when you first spray it, it's definitely very, very much ashtray or already smoked out of 2 hours ago pipe. So you may not love that, but again, it will make you have memories and thoughts and connect to certain pieces of you, maybe even somebody that you love, like a grandpa or a father or a grandma, or whoever. But once it gets past that very ashtray smoky initial notes, it maintains that leather, almost labdanum type of fragrance, that tobacco, that burnt tobacco. Whereas, like, Tom Ford Tobacco Vanille, the raisiny type of tobacco fragrance that's within that, carries an actual like smelling tobacco leaves, as if you was to open like a fresh pack of like good quality cigarettes or something like that, or smell like a packy of tobacco for a pipe. This smells like after it's been smoked. But again, I don't dislike it. It's not something I would grab hardly ever because it would be very particular that I'd be around people who would appreciate this and maybe not be kind of put off. But as it settles down, the undernotes, the jasmine and so forth, everything starts to really come out. I believe that it said, sorry, no, jasmine is the heart notes with vetiver and patchouli leaves, but the amber and the vanilla pods, the white musk, especially musky. Once those start to come out, they really do elevate it. It comes off you very well. I will say, it comes off of your skin extremely, exceptionally well. Again, all of Mancera's fragrances tend to do so. I'm not sponsored. Again, can't stress that enough. I'm just giving you my honest thoughts, the best that I can, in real time. And I think it's wonderful. I think if you're into this type of thing or you want to give this a shot, the price, again, on a discounter is fantastic. The longevity and projection, incredible. But for versatility, oof, this would be a 1 or a 2 out of 10. Because you got to really have a good reason. Or just be home alone and want to smell this smell. Or you're around a bunch of friends you know might like this type of thing. And unless you're just really daring and don't give two craps how people feel, and you're just saying, I'm going for it. I'm going to give everybody what I want to give them, and they're going to like it. And they might not. They very well might not, because this is not crowd pleasing. But when people start to get accustomed to it, and it mellows out, it is really pretty. So, stinky to some people, beautiful to others. I think it's beautiful, but you can't just get away with wearing this just anywhere. So it's very intense, like the name says, very powerful, but very, very specific. And you have to really want this type of thing to enjoy it. So overall, I'll give it like a 7.5 out of 10, because price, great, longevity and projection, all there. But the fragrance is not very versatile. It is very nice, but it's very niche. If you're going for distinct and different compared to mass appeal, you're looking at a 10 out of 10. But if you're looking for something that just a lot of people could like at least accept, I would personally, this again, my personal opinion, give this like a 4 as far as that's concerned. But I do like it, and that's just the way I'm going to leave it. So thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for the subscriber count continually going up. It means so much to me. I'm really hoping to take this somewhere, because I love fragrances with a passion. I always have. You might have seen other videos and heard some of my story. And I just want to continue to share my thoughts with you guys and see what you'd like me to review and see what you think about the things that I do. If we disagree, that's totally okay. Everybody's welcome to my channel, and I send all the love. And I say God bless you to each and every one of you, no matter who you are, where you come from, what you believe, and all that other good stuff. You're all welcome here, as long as you're trying to encourage the same thing for others. And just accept people, if nothing else. We can agree to disagree as long as we're not hurting anybody and abusing anyone. So you're all welcome here, and thank you again for watching. This was Red Tobacco Intense by Mancera. Again, very specific, great, strong, but specific and not for everybody. Don't just blind buy these if you really can help it. But if you're going to go for it, get it at a discount. Again, Fragrance Net. So thank you guys for watching. I love you. Andrew Douglas Lane at the Douglas Moon Fragrance Channel. Much more to come.